So Reina and Bertolt are about to leave, so they go to grab Eren and Ymir, and Bertolt asks Ymir, he asks her, when you were a Titan, do you remember, or when you turned back into a human, do you remember the person that you ate? And Ymir is like, well, I don't remember. Was it one of your friends? Based, if you're asking me in that way, and Bertolt goes silent, and you know, we see, we find out that the person that Ymir ate was a friend of Bertolt and Rhina's. He was actually another person who could turn into a Titan, and Ymir basically lucked out and ate. She was a random Titan roaming outside the walls. She says for 60 years she was stuck like that. And, one day she just popped out of the ground and happened to grab a person who was a Titan shifter. And it happened in a split second. Pops out of the ground, grabs a person, eats them. No time to transform or nothing. So if we look at, and Bertolt also says that he doesn't remember who he ate either. Neither does Rhina, and I didn't even think about this. He says Eren doesn't remember either. So okay, if we think about what is being said here, back in season one, when Eren got almost eaten by that one Titan, that one Titan in season one, and he saved Armin. He got swallowed by it, but he did not die. I think that was key. He didn't die, and he transformed. And we were all led to believe that this was Eren's first transformation, because what else were we supposed to think? I think everybody thought that, right? That was Eren's first initial transformation. But based off what Bertold is saying, you have to eat a person in order to be a Titan shifter. I'm trying to piece this together as I think about it, because up till now we've really viewed Titans as like normals, abnormals, and then you have the human Titan shifters. But from the way they're making it sound, uh, normal Titans are people who are stuck like that. All right, they're just stuck like that, I guess. And if you eat a person who's a Titan shifter, then it kind of breaks that spell, so to speak, and then you're able to freely go back and forth. So basically, what I'm getting at is, if Ymir was a Titan outside the walls for 60 years, and she ate a person, and that's how she gained the power to transform. All right, I think I've figured that out. That's how they gained the power to transform. So that suggests that Eren would have had to have. That wasn't his first transformation, because he would have had to eaten somebody. If that was his first transformation, based off what we're being told here, if I'm following this right, your first transformation, everybody is a mindless Titan in your initial transformation, and then when you eat a Titan shifter, you gain the ability. So Bertolt said Eren doesn't remember who he ate. So who the fuck did Eren eat is the question. There was no point in season one where we see anything. The only thing that I went back and I rewatched season one, and it's basically, I caught it. I think I caught it. Episode, it's so easy to overlook because it happened so early in the freaking series. Episode one, uh, Eren and his dad and his mom and Mikasa, the last time they're all in their house together, right? Right before the attack happens on Wall Maria. Uh, Basically, his dad says he has to go to the inner district to treat a patient or something, and he basically leaves right before the attack happens. But right before he leaves, he flashes this key, and he's telling Eren about the basement everybody knows about. And then he puts the key in his hand and he walks out the door. He leaves with this key, and uh, obviously we all know that Eren has this key later in the series, but we never saw his dad hand it to him. So like, I'm looking and I don't see. I'm checking. I'm pausing the screen and shit, and I don't see. I don't see the key around his neck, or even the little string, the necklace where it's supposed to be. And all of a sudden, there's this weird scene where his dad's in a flashback. Eren's getting injected and whatnot. Uh, excuse me. Eren's saying how his mom's death pushed his dad off the deep end or something. And obviously, Eren's dad wouldn't know if anybody was alive because he left. So So, anyways, it's a weird dream apparently, and then he wakes up from this dream and he says, "I feel like I just talked to my dad," and he's holding and the keys all of a sudden in his hand. And I even went back and like now like at this point there's the key is visibly around his neck. You can see the necklace. The key's tucked under his shirt. So, but right before that, while they were like on the boat and shit, right after the armor titan breached the inner gate, there was nothing around his neck. So Eren somehow gained this key between episodes 1 and 2 by he got it somehow from his dad off screen, clearly, and I think that's a pretty good catch. Because unless I'm mistaken, his dad did leave with that key, and I don't ever remember seeing him, get it, before his dad left. And then all of a sudden, he just had it, and his dad's been gone. And that's the whole thing right there. His dad is just gone. Obviously, you can't live outside of the walls, and obviously, if he was inside the walls, like he would be around, right? So, if you really think about it, it's possible that person Eren ate was his dad, which by default would mean his dad would have had to have been a Titan shifter, I guess. And that, when I think about it like that, it has to be true because based off what Ymir is saying, Ymir ate a Titan shifter who was Rhina and Bertolt's friend, and then she gained the ability to transform. And obviously, we see normal Titans, eat people all the time. All they do is chase down people. So basically, all these Titans who are, it's hard to classify them as normals or abnormals. I'll just call them like level 1 Titans. The first time everyone's a Titan, you're stuck in this state where you're not able to go back, it would seem. And the reason why they're all chasing after humans is because of that reason. Like Ymir, she was able to eat a Titan shifter somehow by mere chance, like finding a freaking shiny Pokemon, basically. And that's the reason why they all eat humans in an attempt to get back to their normal form. And if you're successful, that's when I guess we would call you level 2 Titans. You're now on the second stage where you're able to freely shift back and forth in between the two. And that's basically the best analysis I can have without cheating at all. But one reason one problem with my theory is if Eren ate his dad between episodes 1 and 2 of the story, at that point, all of humanity was pushed inside of Wall Rose. So like, I guess I'm wrong, because if he transformed, like, somebody would have seen the transformation, right? So that could be, maybe he didn't eat his dad, but the fact that his dad is not around and he had to have eaten somebody to turn into a Titan. And it's pretty well established that uh, that injection is a Titan serum, because we see later in this episode 35, that I'm rambling about, that Ymir she committed a crime, long story short, by pretending to be royalty and pretending to be a ruler, and she was punished by this. And there was a bunch of people on top of the wall, and they were being injected with some fluid and kicked off. And when they got kicked off, they turned into a Titan. So clearly, if we combined that with what we know about Eren and his dad, hang on a minute, he was injected by that serum. And when Ymir was injected by that serum, she was stuck like that for like 60 years because she was not able to, eat a Titan shifter for that long. So if Eren was injected with this, then that would mean he would turn into a random Titan. And the only way he can go back and forth would be if he actually ate a Titan shifter somehow. So it only makes sense that if his dad gave him the serum, that means immediately after that would happen, Eren would turn into a Titan and go to eat somebody, right? So yeah, I'm pretty much giving you my breakdowns of what I actually thought while watching it, all the connections I was able to make. So this will probably be a 5-part Let's Talk. Thank Thanks for listening.